Hello folks, we're starting in a bit. Just starting the game now, and very soon we'll be streaming some Torchlight Frontiers. Stream for a few hours, do a bit of legendary. Hopefully I can get some legendaries on both heroes, if not at least on one of them. So the plan is a bit of more Torchlight Frontiers now, and then later on I'll go back to leveling up in the Hivit Frontier. As far as I remember, I was doing Goblin Frontier on this guy before I stopped my stream. Last night that is. I can quickly check my recording just to see what exactly I was doing before I stopped. Meantime, let me load up my... Actually, before loading up my fort, let's see if there's anything that we need to sell while we're in the town. Oh yeah, I can start crafting a new Bane. So before I start crafting the new Bane, what I'll do is I'll check my current Bane on the Mage. So let's sell this. Let's sell this. Let's quickly go on the Mage just to check. Just to check what my current Bane is. Oh, actually it's in the warehouse. Oh, it doesn't matter then. My bad. So, Torchlight Frontiers yesterday, my last Torchlight Frontier stream. Let me check quickly what I was doing at the end, which frontier. Seems like I was doing some Hivit quests, but before the Hivit quests, I wanna know what exactly I was farming, whether it was Goblin Frontier or not. Now is there a completed quest here? Mountain of Gold. What do I understand by a Mountain of Gold? Okay, okay, I don't see any Mountain of Gold there. Let's go to the fort. Start crafting a new relic weapon. Since I was doing the Hivit Frontier, so I should do the Goblin Frontier on this character. Actually, I was doing Hivit Frontier on the Mage. So I should do Goblin Frontier on the Mage, but let's craft the weapon first on this guy, because he's got the crafting material. Yeah, I just watched my...
but see the stream starting soon still.
Thank you for this, thank you for this. Yeah, I forgot to switch to the live scene. Thanks for telling me about that. Much appreciated.
Sweet, thank you.
So I was just watching my previous stream to see how far I was with the progression of my legendary roulette, which is basically just farming in order. This is a Goblin Frontier Bane, so it means I need a Hybrid Frontier Bane. So let's craft one from the infested forest. 12 hours, tomorrow I'll start leveling it up. In the meantime, as I said, we need to go on the mage character. And we need to do the Goblin Frontier on the mage. I created commands. Both YouTube and Twitch have this command added to my bot.
Legendary Roulette is a mini-game where the goal is to run maps in each frontier until I get a legendary drop. Once I do, I change frontiers. When I get a drop from each frontier I change characters.
So this is what I'm usually doing for the past 3 or 4 days. And the thing is, last night I got a drop from the Hybrid Frontier.
Sounds fun.
It is. Sometimes it's not, because once I had a streak of 16 maps. Another time I had a streak of 20 maps until the legendary drops. So sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not so much fun. Because I try to keep it like... oh boy. Just a second. I switched off my arc launcher because it seems to mess up the game while I'm playing. And that's why it can't seem to enter into the game if the arc launcher is switched off. I'll switch it off as soon as it loads up. So let me go and switch my gear to Goblin Frontier gear. If it isn't already. I think it is already Goblin Frontier majorly. Another command I've added, if you want to know the Torchlight Frontiers travel board. You can always use travel to get that link to pull up. Today they've added something very good in that travel.
I'm still waiting for a key invite.
Oh, good luck with that, dude, and make sure to watch the official streams. There will be one, I think, tomorrow, and you might end up and getting lucky by getting a key from that. They've added something about the skill respects. Now just copy paste whatever was written in the travel board.
I usually only can watch them Wednesday and Fridays.
Understandable, understandable. You can just watch the recording then. You won't be able to participate in the giveaways, but it's still something watching the official stream recording. So let's see if I can switch out some gear for more goblin oriented items. I think that's all there is. I'd rather have the crit chance than the more flat damage from this item and the mana regen. So let's just go as we are. Quickly checking on the maps that we're crafting. Let's craft a goblin map, and without further ado, swap out all these things to make things easier. And let's go. If I get a legendary drop early on this guy on this frontier, it's gonna be time for the Railmaster to try his luck on each frontier. Okay, Eerie Grove, not a bad map to start off with. Also, the blog post on the Torchlight Frontiers website really showed something nice. It showed a synergy between Dark Spears and Holy Fury, which further adds to the synergy because Dark Spears is 50% slow, Holy Fury is another 50% slow, and now Dark Spears makes Holy skills consume less energy. That means you pop up Dark Spears and then you start spamming Holy Fury. It will consume less energy. There's items that decrease the cooldown of Dark Spears. There's also items that decrease the energy consumption of Holy Fury. So you can properly make a very nice build around those two skills. Actually, let's show you gameplay of this thing. Let's show you what I mean. Let's remove maybe Unholy Bolt for now. And let's play a bit with this. Do you see how I walk them up in place while they're inside the dark? Of course, this isn't as fast clearing wise uh, as uh, as clearing with energy spikes. And if you're going for such a build, I would strongly recommend offhand that gives you 2 times mana again per second. And energy spike would help you gain quickly that white buff, white magic buff for decreased for increased energy regen, so you can further be able to spam more Dark Spears and Holy Fury. Oh, why did it get casted there? This was my pet almost one-shotting this elite. So it's a bit slow if I play with this build now, but with the skill changes maybe this build would shine. Now you see it's just my pet doing the damage, I'm just holding the elites in place and the pet is one-shotting them left and right. And did I really get knocked back inside the map boundaries, so now I'm stuck right at the start of the map. What a lovely story. I don't think there's much I can do. I just have to start a new map. And this is where we say
Hashtag just all faithings.
this hashtag just alpha things when stupid shit like this. It's an alpha, so we have to expect stuff like this happening. How are we doing with the skill points? 620. I'm gonna get Absolver next, although since the update is coming soon, I may not be there may not be much of a point spending skill points on skills. I'm getting skill points, so I'd rather spend them on something. Okay, map 2. First map doesn't count, I won't count it when I'm counting the streak of maps done. I should add a counter. I should add a counter with a hotkey to add something to the counter on my stream. Let me check. I'll look it up later. There should be some sort of source thingy that you can add to Streamlabs that just adds a counter. Okay, we got Pillage Village, one of the very good maps. It's one of the best maps you can get, regardless whether you're leveling or farming. So this build is not the best for Pillage Village, the Dark Spear and Holy Fury. My normal build is better for clearing this map. And something happened. I was rotating my mouse there. It got the beam stuck. Let's do this on the boss for now. Let's just do my usual setup. And this should do it for now. Yesterday I was trying Spirit Well, and it does seem that the skill falls behind compared to other options you could use on that slot. By the time all the Netherlings pop out of the Spirit Well, half of the skill has already ran out its course, half of its duration. So it's a skill that takes half of its duration to reach its full potential. And there's a huge downtime in between the casts. So there's 12 seconds duration and 18 seconds downtime until you can cast it again. So that's something I really think should be worked on to make like 3, 4, maybe maximum 5 seconds downtime in between the casts, to make the skill more appealing to people that don't want to use it just because it's a fun skill, but because it's actually worth using. Otherwise, people would just be forced to use, if they want to be like, I don't like this word, but let's say it meta, they would be just forced to use a kind of the build that I'm using now, like some different variation of it, but everything is viable. You can do well in the game with any single skill. Just some skills are not as good as others, not as balanced. But if someone likes Spirit well, nothing stopping them from completing the game by playing a build with Spirit well without getting their asses kicked every now and then. Like even I on this build sometimes make mistakes and die. And that's not randomly just a few times, it's quite often. Because I do tend to get distracted and make mistakes a lot. This is a good shrine. Hey, oh, I've got it. Let me gather some monsters to follow me. And let's just make a massive AoE out of everything. Like this. Currently leveling up a Flaming Destroyer, as you can see. I finished leveling one Flaming Destroyer on my Railmaster. And I finished leveling up a Bane and a Life Drinker on this class, I think. So now it's time to level up another Flaming Destroyer. Soon I'll be leveling up the new Bane, and I'll have to level up one more Life Drinker, whatever it was called, the physical damage Wife Leech Sword. Let me use that fire weapon now. I think my DPS drops considerably when I use my relic weapon at the moment, because it's only level 18. So my DPS dropped like less than a third of my current DPS. Like, let's see, now it's 10,000. So it wasn't more than, it was like 40% of what it was. But this is pretty lying DPS, because I've got, oh, that's what's happening. You see, it's a bugged crit chance. It should be 40% there, because there's 9.6, there's 11, and there's 5.5. This adds to 26. It's not counting this, but if you encounter this bug, if it's not counting your passive crit chance, just swap around the skills and it will show you the correct crit chance. You see, now it's back to 40, how it should be. I just didn't notice it on time. Now my DPS probably, as I was going to say, it's saying 10 point something, but that's not counting the crit chance. Crit damage seems to be added towards this number. Attack speed seems to be added towards this number, but crit chance doesn't seem to be added. As I was saying in the past few days while I'm streaming, I'm worried about crit chance builds after the update 6 patch hits, since we won't have that extra 14.5% from the passive. So I'm hoping there is some sort of skill that when you level it, it gives you crit chance for any spells you cast. But I'm not hoping only just for this guy. I'm trying to get a crit chance built on my Railmaster too. So I'm hoping the Railmaster also has some sort of getting crit chance and crit damage. Otherwise people would just use flat damage weapons and flat damage offhands and stuff like that. And everyone would be using the exact same type of items. In order to be good, to use crit chance and crit damage gear, you need to have at least 30% crit chance, ideally 35% or more. I've noticed under 30% or 35 at least, you wouldn't even benefit much from stacking crit chance, crit damage. It'd be better off if you take flat damage bonuses. I have a blue weapon that has 3 times flat damage. I think on my other character, let me check. It's probably on the other character. This is also decent, a sword that can get 2 times block chance. This would be pretty nice on a forged that's stacking block chance on a shield. Shield with 2 times block chance could probably get you around 30 something block chance. Not sure about 40, but 30 something for sure. And with this another like 20-ish. So that way you can get around 50% block chance. It's probably possible to get 60 something. I'm not sure exactly. Because you have this one that's 14.5. So if we can get a shield with around 40% block chance total, and a weapon with 20, and the passive skill with 14.5, you can see how good this would be. Just pin to win, get those blocks in. Before the skill passives get removed, with such a block chance build, maybe this would be nice. Shield spikes. And it gives what, how many percent? 80% chance when walking to reflect all the damage back. We'll see what will replace the shield spikes in the current game. I'm sure the Forge would have some sort of brawler build that would benefit from walking and stuff like that. Really looking forward to making a proper tank build. Although this game currently doesn't need actual tanks, it needs damage, and that's kind of it. You just need to be clever to dodge the boss's attacks. You can see when they're casting an attack, when they're charging. So most attacks are pretty easy to dodge if you learn the boss mechanics. So kind of a tank build currently seems pointless, but I'm really hoping later on this might change and they might make some content that's really challenging and that pushes the limits, like some really hard bosses. We're grouping up and having not Holy Trinity, but at least a damage dealer and tank combo would be okay. And as for damage dealer plus damage dealer combo, Dusk Mage would go very well with Railmasters. It's good now, it's gonna be even better later on when they update the game. You'll be able to melt things in seconds. I'm hoping there's a good balance between my mic and my game audio, because I had to tune it down a bit for my Titan Quest streaming. People were telling me that the game audio was too loud compared to my mic, so I changed it. I don't remember what it was before. I tried to return it the way it was for Torchlight, so hopefully it is okay now. As for the respecs, I'm so happy that there would be a respec system. I think I'm probably got disconnected. Or there's just an invisible wall here. Let's see if I can go around the other way. No, it's blocking me. I managed to kill those enemies, but can I go there? No. Why? Who knows? Okay, let's clean up everything. Every single monster is a potential legendary. Or upgrade blue. Because I could still use some better blue items on each frontier. This map has only dropped one blue item so far. I mean, I don't count the green and whites. Okay, second blue. Physical defense. It is 5.1 crit chance, so and it's physical. Okay, wait, before I kill the boss I should clear all the odds from all 4 spawn places.
You're close to dying. You need mana.
I should also change my potions to red ones. Really don't like when on this map the portal spawns inside the chest. Had a few times where I couldn't open it properly because I quickly clicked it and then I ended up porting to my base. This is by the way a pretty decent combo for a staff. If it was a legendary staff with 2 times crit chance, that would have been like 20 something% crit chance. I'll probably sell it for now, I don't need it. But okay, 3 blue for this map. Could be way better, but it always can be worse, as long as you're getting at least a blue item. Really don't want to get rid of those two. Or of this, because I'm saving them for another character. So let's get rid of this core.
Item has finished crafting.
This is my high vit flaming this. Okay, comet fragments. So we need to farm some comet fragments to be able to make another flaming destroyer for the Goblin Frontier. For now, let's just put this back where it was. And the comet fragments were from the ore? Oh no, it was from the stones. Okay, so we have to get some stones.
Your craft is ready to be picked up.
I'll make sure to remember that and just gather any stones I find on my way. Okay, first do for this map, and it's finally Goblin. Can I replace this one? No, I can't. No gear work. Oh, okay, this map might be a rookie map. 2 blues within less than a minute. This is premonition. Can we smell a legendary? Let's find out soon. Okay, level 19 relic weapon. Let's clear out the dead end.
You need more mana.
I wonder how the sound lines for the goblins were made. Whether someone recorded their own voice and then modified it with LFOs and all sorts of stuff. Because I'm really enjoying them. They're really fitting their size. Even the shaman voice that's different than the little goblins and the brute one sounds exactly what I would imagine someone like. They sound like angry Europeans from more of the, like the Eastern European part near where I live.
You need mana.
That's what their language kind of sounds like. Not the words themselves, but the way the intonations and the chopping off of the letters and words.
Death is upon you.
Okay, this might take a while. Come on, pet, you can do it. You're my secret weapon, pet. Probably should have pumped my damage earlier and just stacked the what's it called, unholy charge with consecration. That's a very good combo to stack. On bosses, it boosts your damage significantly. And here I just did something stupid. I should have waited before taking the Hay Shrine after I killed those monsters.
Has run away.
Double HP map. Now I'm just standing in one spot, not using that extra movement. Since they're double HP, I might try to keep my unholy charge up most of the time. I've given some bosses some custom pet names, and this boss I'm calling Harry. Like I thought of it. He looks just like a Harry. It's called Ogarat or something like that, which is a proper goblin name for a goblin engineer, but I thought he looked like a Harry to me. So that's kind of the name I gave him.
Your pet is back.
Okay, my pet is back. Do some damage, pet. We believe in you. I've always wondered in games where there's resurrection on the enemy, if there's a limit how many times a single monster can be resurrected by a shaman.
You don't have enough mana. You're crazy. You don't have enough mana. Insufficient mana.
Might Shrine. Pretty nice getting that one here. Nice energy shrine. not expect those to come from behind. Pretty nice, getting some extra monsters to spawn. Okay, let's go kill Harry. Harry Flamefoot, that's what I'll call him. Oh, guard. So this map was luckier than the previous one. This map holding 4 blues. Let's put the pet to sell the stuff.
Ahoy. Captain Struck _TLF is trying to get a crew together for a treasure hunt. Type, heist to join.
I'm just looking up something in the bot for those death counters. And I can rename the death counter. I can rename the death counter to count my maps and stuff like that. Okay, it's not under command. It's not under timer. Okay, where the hell is this death count? built-in counter, it needs to be started. Towards the counter
Ho ho.
can be increased.
Struck_TLF made it back from Blackheart with a handful plunder and a tale of plenty. Results, Struck_TLF, 100.
Okay, I'm seeing how I can make such a command. Let's see the default command. It's supposed to be here an overlay for that counter, and I can just rename it, but I don't see it. Yeah, I can't seem to find it. Okay, where the hell is this shit? It's under counter, but I'm not using I'm using the built-in chat. And the built-in chatbot doesn't seem to have a counter option. Yeah, they've gotten rid of this option for the built-in bot. Okay, let me see if my other bot has this option. Maybe Phantom bot has an option for counters. In the meantime, I'll read up if I can add custom from another command.
Maps. Maps, 1. Maps plus. Increased maps, 2. Maps plus. Increased maps, 3. Streak, 3. Increased streak, 4. Decreased streak, 3.
Okay. So now how do I place this as an overlay? Supposedly I've got it. It says what colors and everything, but I don't know how to get it to show up on the stream actually. Oh boy. How do I get it to show up on my screen? That's the worst. I'm not seeing anywhere on my screen a place where it says dead or streak. Streak. It should say streak and the number. Come on. Streamlabs. Do I have to watch a video for such a stupid thing? I did everything the documentation said, and if it's not in the documentation, where would it?
Hello again, I am Blunty, and amongst my plans for when the Nintendo Switch launches in a few days is to do some Twitch streams. But with link corpse thing. It's multiple files, so you can use it with this kind of thing. It's nice, small, straightforward, easy to use. You can better and easier than the way a community member I rule. I'm using a death counter. How many link corpses I'll be leaving scattered around higher over at the OBS project site. And it is much better and easier than the way a community member higher rule. I'm using a nice little free app made by a dude called Corey Friedman, a community member over at the OBS project site. And it is much better and easier than the way I used to do
Yeah, I
this
found
kind of
some
thing.
other tools.
It's nice,
Instead of the
small,
broken
straightforward, easy to
Streamlabs
use.
too,
You
I
can
might
set
use
up your
whatever.
own hotkeys.
Okay, let's see how the new tool would.
So you can use it with it. I'll be for this to be called whatever and be silly you to don't lose your life. Book be a font, yes, or whatever you're using. Add a new text item. Select the text file from where you've asked my account to save it. Choose your other display options, and that's it. You're done.
Okay, I see what I should. Sadly, this only works for the normal OBS, not for the custom one. Oh boy, this is just taking all of my gaming time into doing something stupid. Okay, let's just do that. Let's stop the stream. I'll fix that and then I'll restart the stream when it's fixed.